Sometimes I was the poor beggar, and sometimes I was the lonely mother. And then, as I grew a little older, I started to read things and learn by heart. Poems, always very dramatic poems. And I read monologues out of plays, or I took pieces, just a short story, and I dramatized it. My father, he took me to the opera. He wanted me to become an opera singer. And I was very unhappy about it, and I took singing lessons.
At the beginning, she thought she was going to be a singer because she has never seen actors. She grew up at a time where there was no television and very little films, so she was brought to the opera. And when she saw those people on stage, she wanted to go on stage and sing. And then one day she was brought to the theater and she saw people speaking, not singing, and she said, "Oh my God, I don't have to sing, I can just act. That's what I want to do."
And that is how I became an actress, not knowing what I was doing was acting. But I always lived with all these characters in my fantasy.
My mother was 15 when she found work as an extra at the movie studio in Stockholm. She said she could not believe that she'd been paid to have so much fun. At 17, my mother was accepted into Stockholm's Royal Dramatic School, but the prospect of 5 years more schooling was not appealing. The memory of working at the film studio was vivid, and when the offer came for a speaking part in a movie, Ingrid took it, against the advice of her teachers.
They were so angry with me when I wanted to leave. But you see, when you're young, you are in a great hurry. And I was so anxious to right away get big parts and be a well-known actress. Sure of myself I was. I was so happy to have gotten out of reality and come into my world of imagination that I had lived with since I was a child, that I felt at home. The camera never frightened me, and everybody thought it was very funny when I did my very first scene that I was going around so happy and not at all frightened. That stayed with me. I have never had any fear.